Could you just provide some background on who was she? Why did she mean so much? And what kind of a role did she play in your life?
Um, Everything. My grandmother, the one that introduced me to the game of basketball. It's my dad's mother. She's one of my biggest supporters, one of my biggest fans, one of my best friends. So she meant the entire world. There's no um, other way to put it. There's no other way to either explain the things that she done for me. And she was my entire world.
Okay, next question is going to come from Tomer.
Hey, Trez, it's good to see you. Lost. Just what have you been going through, I guess, the last couple of weeks? I mean, were you giving an explanation for the quarantine, the extra quarantine days? And then what are some of the challenges that you're facing having to come back in the middle of a playoff series?
As far as as far as coming back in a playoff season, setting and mode, I'm not really too much bothered by it, man. I play basketball all summer round, all year round, man. So, I never really take time off. I'm kind of used to, just always been around basketball. As far as, coming back and the quarantine time that I had to do, just, keep those feelings and expressions to myself. I really don't feel like being fine today.
Okay, next question is going to come from Charlie.
Trez, man, can you just describe a little bit about how your teammates have helped you through this and really what yesterday was like from when you got to shoot around and then to the game, how important they've been?
My teammates are, a huge uplifting factor throughout this time, throughout this whole process, man. From the first instance of when I went home, man, they constantly checked on me every day, man. I just constantly kept sending, messages to keep my spirits high and just keep my family in their prayers and well wishes, man. So my teammates have been a great crutch for me to lean on right now. Definitely was still dealing with, everything. It hasn't really been that long, so I'm still dealing with the process. But, it definitely was a different feeling, I think, more so. I kind of reflected back on it after the game. Once I got to my room, I think that's when I did majority of my, reflecting and more emotions came out then. It's just different. Having somebody here who just means everything in the world to you and you constantly was in communication with them every other day. And they always constantly checked on you and constantly watched your games to the very first time that you picked up a basketball, man. And, that factor isn't there anymore. So it's tough.
We're going to take a few more questions, Trez, and we'll get you out of here. Two questions inside the bubble. One from Tanya.
What are some of your favorite memories of basketball with her? Did she play with you? Was she watching?
Just the instance of, her introducing me to the game, man. My grandmother bought me so many of the toddler and different little basketball goals that you hang up around the house. I've destroyed, thousands of those things, and she constantly kept getting them for me over and over. So those are the biggest memories, but every memory I have with my grandmother is a special memory because it's the type of lady that she was.
She ever play?
No. I'm the really only person in my family that really, took basketball seriously and took it on this level. My brothers were more football guys.
Next question is going to come from Kyle inside the bubble.
Chris, right here. What was most important to you about being able to be home? Was it, being there for the funeral and saying goodbye? Was it being with your family? What was most important about that?
The whole entire process, man. To me, family is everything. It is, the staple to how I live my life and, go through our business and a lot of different things that I do in the aspect of life. But, my family, we're tied together on a whole, complete different string, man. We all been in the same household for a numerous amount of years of our life. There's nobody that, to this day, that doesn't really still live in the household to the point from, when I grew up as a kid. Only person that doesn't is like me and my brother, and that's because, we're older now and we're grown doing our own thing. But, my baby brother still lives there. He was living with me for a while. He still lives there. My mom, my dad, my dad's parents, and my two aunts as well. So it's always been a household since I could ever remember in my life growing up, man. And, we've always been that tight. And like I said, family means a tremendous deal to me. So for me to be there and, try to do everything in my power to keep my family, keep my kids, my loved ones around me in spirits of something that's about to happen that's a disaster, is pretty tough, to be able to be there and just trying to keep them in high spirits. But I had to do it because, this is the role that I've took on for my family since I can remember. And I can't stop now. I'm never going to stop. It just means that, I have to do it to an extremely higher level.
Take 3 more questions and get you out of here. Next question is going to come from Miriam.
Hey, Trez, I'm going to echo everyone else and extend my sympathies, man, to you and your family. I wanted to ask you about some of the tributes that you're wearing and showing for your grandmother, from your outfit yesterday to the T-shirt and everything, and why is that? What's that mean to you? Tell us a little bit about those.
It means everything to me. My grandmother, one of her favorite colors was pink. She was buried in that color. And, that's the color that she wanted to, go into her eternal life and, house in the sky. And for me to be coming back into my first game since, the season ended and, dealing with that tragic loss, it's tough. It still weighs on me to this day. But, it was more so just something that was on my heart to the point where I felt like it was more to the fact that I wanted to connect with her, going back into something that she's, empowered me and instilled in me to do, and to, that I found this love and passion that was passed on from her.
And next question is going to come from Owen.
Trez, my deepest condolences for your loss. I was wondering, you talked about the support your teammates surrounded and showered you with. Is there any one gesture or one thing said or one thing done by one of your teammates that will stick with you for the rest of your life of what they did to comfort you?
Just the fact of the matter, them reaching out, and it wasn't just one of those, hey, sorry for your loss text. It's like, every person on the team really wrote a message to me, really, whether they reflected on, instead of something that they had to deal with in this matter in life, or, just, words that have helped me be able to get through this time. And they all really sat down and typed out a legit message or called me, because I had a couple guys call me as well, and actually express their feelings to help me stay in the right mindset to deal with, what I'm still constantly going through right now.
All right, last question is going to come from Jovan.
Hey, Trez. First off, my deepest condolences to you and your family. But I wanted to ask, you mentioned how much you hoop and how you're constantly playing. What was it like to be away from basketball, at least playing in games for 5 months? And what was it like to finally get back on the court out there?
Well, it was different. It was definitely a weird setting. It's not really one that we're kind of accustomed to, even myself, because like I said, I play all summer around, and, with all this happening, everybody had to cut their summer leagues out, and people had to really just shut down. So it definitely was a huge and, weird vibe. I would have to say, for the 5 months that we went on and had to, basically just sit still. But at the same time, I definitely enjoyed it because I got to be able to go back home and I got to be able to be around my kids and, see them for a consistent 24-hour basis every day, and that's something that I really don't get to do playing throughout the season. You don't really get to be around your kids that much, unless they are fortunate enough to live with you, and mine aren't, so it's just the fact that the matter is I was able to be around them 24 hours and, watch them grow and watch the different things and watch them interact, and then just being around my family. I was blessed enough to be able to go home and see my grandmother, before she passed. I went home Father's Day, and we had a great time, man. So, I just think that, I definitely use the time to really just not reconnect, but really just, enjoy my family, man. And it's just more so at the time, just in the season, I'm locked in the work, and we travel so much that, I'm not really around my family. My family lives in North Carolina. I'm way out in Los Angeles. So, I definitely just utilize this time to just be with them.
All right, thanks, Trez. That's all I got for you today, brother.
Sure.
All right, have a good day, man.
Y'all too. Sorry. Thank you.